body. We move from one thought to another, from one worry to the next, often forgetting that rest is not something we must earn. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to become. Rest is already allowed. Welcome to Sleepy Zen Story. This is a place where the night moves slowly, where thoughts soften, and where sleep arrives naturally, without effort. Before we begin, you may gently notice, where in the world are you listening from? No need to answer. Just let the question pass like a cloud. And what time is it for you right now? Late evening, early morning, or somewhere in between? You don't need to hold the thought. Let it go. You are here now, and that is enough. Allow your body to rest in the position it prefers. There is no perfect posture for sleep. Let the jaw soften. Let the shoulders fall. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm. Nothing to control, nothing to adjust. Each breath knows what to do. Imagine a quiet river at night, not a dramatic river, not rushing, just steady, calm, patient. Moonlight rests gently on the surface of the water, creating soft silver paths that appear and disappear. The river does not hurry. It has learned something the mind often forgets, that arriving is not as important as flowing. You are standing at the river's edge, barefoot, safe, unobserved. The ground beneath you is cool and solid. The night air is still. You are not here to cross the river, not here to follow it. You are simply here to be near it.
There is a narrow path beside the water. It curves gently, following the river's natural shape. No signs, no milestones, no destination marked. Just a path that exists because someone once walked it. You begin walking, not because you must, but because it feels natural to do so. Each step is unhurried. Each step is quiet. The path does not ask who you are. It does not ask where you've been. It only accepts your presence. As you walk, thoughts may appear, unfinished conversations, moments from earlier today, plans that don't need your attention right now. The river receives them all. Each thought becomes like a leaf on the water, touching the surface, floating briefly, then moving on. You do not chase the leaves. You do not analyze them. You let the river do what it does best, carry them away. There is no lesson being given tonight, only an observation. The river does not improve itself. The moon does not try to shine brighter. The path does not wonder if it is enough. And yet, everything is complete. Perhaps restlessness comes not from doing too little, but from asking too much of ourselves. Tonight, you are released from that habit. Far ahead, there is a small wooden bridge, old, simple, optional. You pause before it. You could cross it, or you could sit nearby, or you could turn back. There is no correct choice,
And as you stand there, something becomes clear. You don't actually need the bridge. The path you're on is already enough. This realization doesn't arrive loudly. It arrives softly, like sleep.
You sit beside the river. The ground supports you without effort. The air wraps around you gently. Moonlight reflects on the water, and the water reflects nothing back at you. It does not judge. It does not define. It simply moves. Your breathing slows naturally now. Longer pauses between thoughts. More space. You are not drifting away. You are settling in. If the mind tries to stay awake, let it. If it begins to wander, let it. Sleep does not need permission. It arrives when resistance fades. The river continues whether you watch it or not. The night continues whether you think about it or not. You are allowed to rest inside this truth. As the stillness settles, you notice something quietly surprising. The path has not ended. It has simply narrowed. Not tighter, not restrictive, just more subtle. The ground beneath your feet feels softer now, as if the earth itself has relaxed. You begin walking again, but there is no sense of movement, no sense of distance. Each step feels like arriving. The river remains beside you, its surface now smoother, reflecting the moon in longer, calmer lines. Nothing ripples unless it needs to. Ahead, a single lantern rests near the riverbank. It is not bright. It does not flicker dramatically. It glows the way patience does. You don't wonder who placed it there. You don't question why it exists. It is simply part of the night. As you pass it, the light doesn't follow you. It stays where it is, and somehow that feels right. Not everything is meant to come with you. For a while, there are no thoughts at all. Not because you pushed them away, but because they forgot to arrive. There is only the sensation of air, cool and clean, moving gently around you. Only the quiet rhythm of walking without effort. Even the idea of you feels lighter now, less defined, like a name spoken less often. The river curves away slightly, then returns closer again. It does not choose the shortest route. It chooses the most natural one. You realize, without analyzing, that this is how rest works too. It does not come when demanded. It comes when allowed. The body understands this. The mind is beginning to remember. There is a wide stone near the water, smooth, worn down by time and flow. You sit, not because you decide to, but because sitting happens. Your weight settles. Your breathing deepens. The moon has climbed higher now, its reflection stretching across the river like a quiet invitation. You don't follow it, you stay.
The edges of things blur slightly, not in a confusing way, in a comforting way, like falling asleep while listening to rain you no longer try to hear. Your thoughts become slower than your breath. Your breath becomes slower than the night. Nothing asks for attention anymore. The path no longer matters. The river no longer needs watching. Even the moon feels distant now, doing its own quiet work. There is no signal for sleep, no announcement, no transition, just a gentle fading, like a sound becoming part of silence. The body rests, the mind loosens, and whatever remains aware does not need a name. The story does not end, it simply stops being followed. The path beneath you continues, but now it feels softer, almost cushioned. Each step barely touches the earth, yet the earth holds you fully. The moonlight stretches along the river, painting silver streaks across the smooth water. Each streak seems to pulse slowly, as if the river itself is breathing. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to reach it. You simply notice it, and noticing is enough. With each step, the body grows heavier in a comforting way. Muscles release tension you weren't aware of. Joints soften. The mind begins to feel spacious, as if someone gently opened a door you didn't know was closed. Along the riverbank, trees lean slightly toward the water, their leaves moving in a quiet, unhurried dance. Not a sound disturbs the calm, but if you listen closely, you might hear them whispering just for you. These whispers are not words. They do not ask you to do anything. They simply move. And in their movement, you feel your own mind slow. Even the faintest breeze carries a softness, touching your skin, tracing your shoulders, sliding along your arms. It reminds you that you are alive, but alive without urgency, without demand, without expectation. The river widens gradually. Its edges blur into shadows. Its surface reflects the stars now, tiny points of light scattered across a dark canvas. You notice how the water moves effortlessly. A leaf drifts by. A ripple forms slowly, then disappears. The river doesn't rush. It doesn't force. It doesn't judge the pace of things. You begin to feel the same calm spreading from your feet, up through your legs, into your torso, and finally to your shoulders and head. Each breath becomes a gentle tide, like the river itself moving through you. Soon the path opens into a wide clearing. Soft grass cushions the ground. There is no sound here except the faint murmur of the river. You lie down on the grass, not because you need to, but because the body naturally settles. The sky above is open now, stars scattered like silver dust across a deep, dark canvas. Moonlight drapes over you, gentle, protective, calming. The mind may wander for a moment. Perhaps an old thought arises, but it is light. It floats away like a feather, carried by the invisible wind.
Your breathing slows further. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
You realize you don't need to count. You don't need to direct it. The body knows. The river, the moon, the path, the clearing, all guide you without force. You are cradled in stillness, protected by the night, held by the gentle rhythm of everything around you. If you watch closely, you notice the river has small pools of still water, mirror-like, reflecting nothing but calm. You could stare at them for hours, or you could simply notice them and close your eyes. Both are enough. In these pools, you sense a subtle truth. Rest does not need permission. Peace does not need justification. Sleep does not need explanation. You let your thoughts drift toward these pools. They float there like leaves, moving slowly, without urgency, without attachment. The night air feels cooler now. It brushes your cheeks and flows through your hair. Your body sinks deeper into the grass. The ground seems to carry all weight effortlessly, as if you've been waiting for this support all your life. Breathing becomes almost imperceptible. You do not push, you do not hold. You simply notice the gentle rising and falling. Your mind softens further. Edges blur. Moments of awareness appear and vanish like clouds passing across the moon. Nothing is missing. Nothing is required. Everything is enough. High above, the moon slowly arcs across the sky. Its light shifts, softening shadows, touching the river, the grass, the trees, and you. You are not separate. You are part of the quiet flow, part of the soft curve of moonlight across water, part of the calm path that bends, widens, and returns. There is no need to move, no need to think, no need to arrive. You rest, and the night holds you gently. The river, the moon, the grass, the trees, all begin to blur into gentle shadows. Thoughts float like feathers. Breathing fades into effortless rhythm. The body softens completely. The mind drifts without effort. Sleep is arriving quietly, not sudden, not demanded, just flowing like the river beside the path. You are exactly where you need to be. The river grows wider now, so wide that its movement becomes almost invisible. It is still flowing, but so gently that only the moon seems to notice. You no longer follow its direction. You sense its presence the way you sense your own breathing without thinking about it. The water reflects the sky so clearly that it feels less like water and more like an opening. Your body feels heavier, yet strangely light at the same time, as if the effort of holding yourself together has finally been released. The ground supports you completely. There is no edge to where your body ends and the night begins. Breathing happens somewhere in the background now, unnoticed, uninterrupted. Each exhale loosens something subtle, not tension, but the habit of holding on. There is no path here anymore, no river bank, no clearing, no sense of forward or back, only space. Not empty space, gentle space, the kind of space that exists between thoughts when the mind forgets to keep talking. You rest inside that space. Nothing pulls you out of it.
If a thought appears, it has no edges. It doesn't form words. It doesn't tell a story. It arrives like a soft blur and dissolves before becoming anything. There is no need to notice it leaving. The mind is learning a quieter way to exist. The night does not ask who you are. It does not ask what you've done today. It holds the river, the moon, the trees, and you without preference. You are not being observed. You are not being guided. You are simply allowed to rest inside something much larger than effort. Breathing slows even further now. So slow, it feels like it's happening somewhere far away. You don't follow it in. You don't follow it out. It moves on its own, like the river beneath moonlight. There is nothing to manage. Awareness grows thin and wide, not focused, not sharp, more like mist drifting across water without direction. The sense of listening softens. The sense of being here loosens. You are still present, but presence no longer feels like effort. The moonlight softens, not because the moon is gone, but because your attention no longer needs it. Light becomes darkness. Darkness becomes comfort. There is no contrast left to notice, only ease.
There is no ending here. No moment where something stops. The river continues. The night continues. You simply stop following. Sleep arrives, not as an event, but as a release. Like setting something down you forgot you were carrying. The story fades now, not abruptly, not completely. It becomes distant, like a sound heard through walls that slowly disappears. There is no need to stay awake for it. Nothing important happens next, only rest. The river is no longer separate from you. The night is no longer around you. Everything becomes quiet in the same way sleep becomes quiet. No effort, no direction, no awareness to hold. Only stillness settling naturally into itself.
There is nothing more to follow now. No images to hold, no thoughts to complete. The river continues somewhere, but you no longer need to know where. The night settles fully, soft, wide, unbroken. Breathing happens on its own. Awareness loosens. Even listening begins to fade. Nothing is expected of you. Sleep arrives the way darkness arrives, naturally, without effort, without announcement. You are safe in this quiet, held by the stillness, carried by rest. And as everything grows softer, slower, more distant, the story gently lets you go. Good night from Sleepy Zen Story.